Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I will be breaking into my top 5 choices for my most fun vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's get straight into it. In the number 5 position, as you can see, I am in a plane that some of you might not even be aware exists. This is called the Seabreeze. It's a pretty fast propellered vehicle. You can see here we are flying, going upwards of about 130 miles per hour, and this is definitely one of the faster propellered vehicles in the game. The Seabreeze does have the ability to drop bombs, which gives it some decent protection, at least against people on the ground. I wouldn't say it's the best weaponry ever, because apart from that, you have a pretty lame machine gun, but the thing about the Seabreeze that is really fun is the fact that it can land in water, and more specifically, how fast you can land it in water. There's not a lot of vehicles in the game you can just fully faceplant into the water and then be completely fine 2 seconds later and take back off into the air. Because of that, I've always found the Seabreeze to be an incredibly fun vehicle to use, especially if you ever have any missions or resupplies that you have to do that are off the coast in the water. It is incredibly easy just to be like, oh look, here's the boat I have to do my mission with. Well, let me just go straight down, plop her in, and look at that. I mean, it's just so fun to use this vehicle and smash it into the water. There's nothing really incredibly special about the Seabreeze, but it's a fun plane to fly. It's pretty maneuverable, and it's not like unbearably maneuverable like the Rogue is, so you can actually do some decent maneuvers and fly with it. I just think it's a really fun vehicle to mess around with. It can also survive 2 missiles because you do get an armor upgrade before it actually blows up. So overall, it's got protection, it's got speed, and it's also got the ability to land in water and really fast, which is kind of rare when it comes to the planes category. In the number 4 slot, we have another flying vehicle, this one being the Hydra. Now, the Hydra is just amazing. People have known about the Hydra ever since it's been released into Grand Theft Auto Online. I remember actually when it wasn't released and it was just rumors over and over, oh, you can get the Hydra by stealing it here in the military base. I don't know if you remember those old videos, but I remember so bad trying to get my hands on this vehicle when I was young and naive. But then Rockstar added it into the game, and ever since the Hydra has been added into the game, it is by far one of the most popular vehicles to grief people with. And while I don't agree with the griefing aspect of this plane, I do have to admit, for the price tag of around $3 million, this is by far one of the best $3 million you will ever spend. First of all, the Hydra is incredibly fast. It makes the Sea Sparrow look slow, going in at a top speed close to about 140 to 50 miles per hour. That means you can traverse the entire GTA map in about 2 to 3 minutes. That is incredibly fast. But the better part about the Hydra is by right-clicking on the D-pad, at least for an Xbox remote, you can turn it into hover mode, and we can see that right here. So I can just completely dead stop my Hydra, and there you go. Now I am a helicopter. But I'm a helicopter with the deadliest machine gun in the game. This carries the same explosive minigun that a vehicle like the Laser carries, which means you got these cute little cars sitting here. Oh darn, not anymore. Yeah, I mean, the Hydra is insane. The fact that you can do this allows this vehicle to be by far one of the best mission vehicles in the game. If you're doing any public lobby missions or your friend is doing a sail mission, the Hydra is by far one of the best vehicles to protect your teammates and just really cover anybody in the trouble that you're having. Another crazy thing about the Hydra is that not only is this vehicle incredibly easy to fly in hover mode, but even if you're very, very close to the ground, like I'm pretty low down, I can instantly swap right into jet mode. And look at that, I lose 0 altitude because of the way Rockstar designed this. Because of that, the Hydra is amazing. And by the way, you can also shoot the explosive machine gun while flying it at 150 miles an hour. So the Hydra is amazing at that aspect. It also has missiles, and they're homing missiles, so gotta add that in as well. Overall, as I said, for the price tag, I mean, sure, it's an expensive investment if you're newer to the game, but the Hydra is amazing. There is nothing this plane cannot do. It can land on any surface apart from water, and it's got everything you would ever need. So I definitely rate this as one of my most fun vehicles, just because there's never a challenge it cannot acquire. In the number 3 slot, we have the Ramp Buggy, a vehicle that just launches other vehicles into the air. Now, I would have put the Phantom Wedge in this list over the Ramp Buggy, but there's one reason I didn't, and that is the Ramp Buggy is just flat better than the Phantom Wedge. Don't get me wrong, I think the Phantom is absolutely fantastic at pushing things out of the way. However, in a previous video on the channel, I tested what was the best ramming capabilities. What could push a tank out of the way? What could get past just about anything that was in front of you? And even the Phantom Wedge had a bit of a struggle pushing vehicles like the Rhino tank out of its way. The Ramp Buggy, no problem whatsoever. I think we actually lost a wheel when testing it, but the Ramp Buggy was still able to push tanks and just about anything in front of it out of its way. And what that means is that literally, if Rockstar or any online session tries throwing literally anything as a barricade in front of you, the Ramp Buggy will easily just launch those problems right into the sky and never think about them again. Just kind of like my ex. Oh, wait. But overall, I really like the Ramp Buggy. It's super fun. It's not cheap, to be fair. It is like a $2.4 million vehicle, but it's fun. It is a very fun vehicle, and that's all this list is made for. So if you like fun and you like just absolutely launching things in the air, this is definitely a go-to vehicle. Next up, we have the Scramjet making it into the number 2 position. The reason the Scramjet is making this list is because of the jets and the jump ability. There are a lot of rocket boost vehicles available in Grand Theft Auto Online, but how many of them can do this? Yeah! It is so fun to just launch yourself into the air with the Scramjet. Yeah, honestly, there are not many vehicles that have the capability to just launch themselves into the air instantly. I mean, yes, the Toreador, the Rocket Voltic, and I think there's one other, the Vigilante, all do have very similar rocket boost, but the Scramjet's rocket boost, first of all, lasts a lot longer than a lot of the other rocket vehicles, but as well, none of the other rocket vehicles have a jump ability, which means that this is the only car that you can just launch yourself into the air whenever you want, instantly too. That makes the Scramjet just absolutely fun to mess around with. The Scramjet also, you can throw any explosive or any device out of it you want to, and it also carries missiles. Now, it's not the most missiles, but the fact that you can still just spam missiles in the vehicle makes it pretty dang deadly. So overall, the Scramjet is not only a pretty capable vehicle of self-defense, but it's just a super fun car to launch yourself into the air and have a lot of fun with. Now, it's not cheap. I know that this is one of the more expensive vehicles in the game. I think it comes close to $3 million, but I mean, you can't put a price on fun. Well, I guess Rockstar did, but I really like the Scramjet. It's definitely an incredibly fun vehicle if you like just flying around. I usually like to fly up to Mount Chiliad in this vehicle and see if I can make it up as fast as I can, racing against my friends. It's just a really fun car. So if you're looking for fun, you're looking for a vehicle that does have some self-defense and can actually get you from point A to point B fairly fast, look at the Scramjet, because it's a pretty solid choice. And in the number 1 slot, we got the big old bad daddy monster truck, the Marshall. This is just such a fun vehicle. For so many years, I had been waiting for Rockstar to add the purchase ability to get a monster truck, because there wasn't any. Now, I still do wish that the Liberator was available for purchase. I don't even really know how you get the Liberator still. But even with that aside, the Marshall is a really fun vehicle. It's fast. I mean, a lot of people don't realize this. This thing can go up to like 100 miles an hour, which is pretty freaking fast for a vehicle that's 4 times the size of any street legal car. When you add that into the fact that the Marshall is incredibly good at off-roading, which you would expect, but this thing is fast at off-roading, and it is really good. The suspension never gives out, the vehicle never spins out. It's got 4-wheel turning, meaning that the front wheels and back wheels turn opposite to each other, allowing it to actually turn pretty sharp corners. I mean, the Marshall is just really fun to mess around with. It's cheap. It's only like, I think 115 or 120 grand. It's not a very expensive vehicle, and it's just a lot of flat fun. I mean, you can just drive over cars easily, which is pretty dang fun to do, kind of what you'd expect. But, oh, look, a Vapid Bullet, goodbye. Oh, look, another car, goodbye. I mean, this is just like what I would expect a monster truck to be like in real life. It is such a fun vehicle to mess around with. So, Yeah, I think that this is an absolute win of a vehicle, and anybody should pick this up, especially because, as I said, it's pretty dang cheap, and I think cheap is a win as well when it comes to the category of fun, because if you can't afford it, then you're probably not going to have much fun trying to get it. Hopefully, all of you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like this, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. In the future, maybe I'll do like a top 10 most fun vehicles that aren't in this video, but I just felt like a top 5 would be a short, little, quick comparison list just to showcase what I find fun in Grand Theft Auto. Obviously, there's a lot more vehicles in the game that a lot of other people probably agree and may disagree with that I didn't put in this list, but at the end of the day, this is just one man's opinion. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is fun, and let me know what you dislike. What's not fun is getting stuck on a tree, but there you go. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.